Hey friends, I'm Sarah, and these are the Guru Rules. In my last video, I talked about how to become a guru. But once you are a guru, how do you stay there? And how do you do it well? A lot of beautiful movements and ideas get taken down because the person that represents them does something out of alignment with the values that they're espousing. They have a sex scandal as a president or as a spiritual leader. They embezzle money and somebody finds out about it. Usually it's either sex or money. Don't know why. Not like those are basic human motivations or anything. So there's a couple rules I think of to being a guru that actually ethically represents your practice. And the three rules are: be congruent, don't take it personally, and hold power wisely. We'll go through these one by one. Be congruent. A good example right there. I'm a teacher on authenticity. So ideally, I would cut the video and redo it if I made a mistake like that. But congruence with my practices looks like being willing to make mistakes and keep on going. If I don't show up as human, I can't be asking other people to as well. Congruence, I think of as alignment between your words and your actions, or ideally your values, your words, and your actions. If you're a guru, people are watching you. They're watching to see if you have this alignment. They're watching you as a model of practices, not as a full human being. So they're laser focused on any place where you're not living up to the things that you say you espouse. If a president says that he espouses integrity and that he has sex with a constituent, most likely people aren't going to trust him as well, and they're not going to trust the message that he brings either. Being a guru is kind of a fragile position. Because people are treating you like an icon, it's easy to go to like step off one side or other of that divide. Like either people will think you're absolutely infallible or they think that you have done everything wrong. I don't totally know why there's this human predisposition to make things that black and white, but we do. We like simplification. So a lot of the time, either you're good or you're evil to the people that are just using you as a symbol. So the second part of this, recognizing you're a figurehead, is don't take it personally. So you're a person and you're an icon. And this can often make things difficult because as a person, it's hard for me to only be seen as part of myself and to have people coming up to me and giving me massive praise when I don't feel like I've deserved it. So there's a plus and a downside to having that happen. One of which is it's difficult to not be seen for who you are. So taking in praise, it's like, do I believe this? Don't I? It's painful even if it's positive because it's out of alignment with my own perception of myself. And here it helps to remember that people aren't seeing me. They're seeing the representation of something that they care about and want to emulate in themselves. I'm just a projection screen or a pretty colored rock that they can pick up and hold. And I've actually gotten okay with that in my own movements because I think it's an essential role to play for people. There are others who have played it for me, and I've definitely had mixed relationships when I felt like they're out of integrity with their own values. So I take it personally, I take the praise personally and the criticism personally to the extent that it's useful to me. I assume there's a grain of truth in everything, but I can decide how I take it. And in terms of taking criticism, because my own practices are about humility, openness, vulnerability, even if I don't believe the criticism, I personally am going to look for the grain of truth and acknowledge at least what the other person says. But that's part of my congruence. It might not be part of other gurus. It feels weird to call myself a guru, but it's what other people have sometimes called me, so I'm using it here. And I'm thinking of others who have messaged me and said, hey, I'm getting pedestaled. Like, what do I do? How do I integrate this into my being? And that's why I wanted to say the don't take it personally rule. You're doing a fantastic job, but people aren't just seeing you. And that's another reason to make sure you have people around you who actually are seeing who you are. Um, if people are only seeing the good, like if they think you can do no wrong, or if they think you can do only wrong, that probably means that they're not the true friends that you want to have that can see the whole of you. I rely on my friends to call me out on my shadows and to appreciate my light when I can't see it. So, last, hold power wisely. When I talk about being a guru, I'm not just talking about being a spiritual leader or a president or a monarch or whatever. I think that lots of people are leaders, gurus in different areas of their life. Being the head of a family, you're a guru to your kids. Leading a church group, being a teacher in a school. These are all forms of being a guru, of having people look up to you as, a representation of values or of something important rather than as a full person. We almost never see full people. In fact, I think it's impossible. People are way too complex to be understood in their entirety. It's why I do the whole practices I do, is like trying to get closer to understanding who people are while recognizing I'm never going to, and I don't even fully understand myself. It's like trying to understand chaos theory. It can't fully fit into my brain. So take that one step further. As a representation of something to someone else, you're going to get seen even less. And there's a way that you have even more power as a representation of a single idea, as the representation of like what is right in the world to your kids, or the arbiter of truth as a teacher, or the source of community as a leader. And this means that you have power, which you can do a lot with. And I think there's something inherently hollow in using power for your own ends, because people see you more and more as a guru, and you're more and more alone. And one of the things is, if you're a natural born leader, it's very hard to get out of spaces where people are going to see you as a guru. You can't put power down. You can try to give it away, but if you don't totally abdicate it, people are still going to see you as the leader. So holding power wisely really means just acknowledging that you have it and accepting that, and looking at, where is it that people trust me? Where do they look up to me? How do they modify their behavior as a result? What am I standing for? And A, do I want to stand for that? B, can I stand for it congruently? And if the answer to those is no, then change your behavior or make it clear to the people that are looking up to you, or hand it over to someone who can model that congruently. Because otherwise you're getting other people confused with a model of reality that isn't what they think it is. All right, gurus, I wish you luck.